Now's the opportunity for anyone in the audience to speak. I ask that you come up to the microphone here, state your name and address for the record. Speakers will be limited to 2 minutes to deliver their comments. Kevin keeps track of the time. At about 1:45, he raises his hand, and then I ask you to start winding your comments up. Those speaking are asked to conduct themselves in a respectful manner as they deliver their comments. Audience members are asked to refrain from reacting to comments, and the City Council will not respond directly to comments in this venue or take immediate action in response to them. So the floor is open, and we have a young lady here is ready to go.
Just sign in your name and address, please.
Thank you.
This is your first time here, isn't it?
Yes.
And where's your supervisor?
Oh. Hello, my name is Emery Vick. My address is 1430 Hemlock Avenue, and I'm here to talk about Student Council and our Huskies Give Week that we have going on. It's a new week at the high school, and it's focused on giving back to our community since you guys do amazing things for us at that high school, and we want to give back to the community as a whole. So I'm here just to give a little bit of an overview of each day of the week. So Monday, we had a pet fest where we raised about $1,500 or more to give to United Way. And we did that through a little dash for cash, a little fun for the students, and they got to pie a teacher when they raised that money. So it was quite fun. And today we had a cereal drive, and we collected about 586 boxes for Community Pathways. It was an amazing turnout, and we're very thankful for everyone who donated a box or a bag of cereal. And tomorrow is a Compass Day at the school, so we are going to have various volunteering activities for students. They can make cards for kids in hospitals, make blankets, rake leaves for elderly, and many other opportunities. And with that, we're partnering with some of the other clubs at the school, like Link Crew and Best Buddies. And Thursday, we're going to be having a Toys for Tots drive, and that is where each kid can bring in a toy and be entered into a raffle where they could win a prize. And Friday, we're going to have a coat and sock drive, and that will all be donated to our OHS pantry at our school where kids in need can go get things if they so please. And all week we're going to be having something called kindness tickets, where if a teacher sees a student doing a kind act, they can give them a ticket and they'll be entered into a raffle. So this is just a quick overview of this amazing new week that we have been working on here at OHS, and we're excited to share it with you guys and the community.
Great. Well, thank you for coming and tell us about that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job.
Anyone else in the audience wish to speak this evening? Yes, sir.
My name's Tyrell Alistair Hunter, 2595 Mossy Creek Drive. I'd like to cede my 2 minutes to Melissa Zimmerman to cover an important topic.
Not an option.
That's not allowed.
I'm sorry, that's not an option.
I'll read for her.
Okay.
We'd like to review the 61-page federal document prepared not by the federal government, but by WSB. Page 1 establishes the responsibility for this project. The Eastside Corridor Study, led by Steele County in cooperation with the City of Owatonna. This directly ties your name and legacy to the project. You have the power to ensure it's done right. Page 3 discusses 24th Avenue as a mapped right-of-way. 24th Avenue was never mapped right-of-way as it was deemed too close to the Greenhaven developments by 2004. 29th Avenue was found insufficient, and 34th Avenue was officially recommended and mapped as the intercollector roadway as documented here again. Page 6 addresses pedestrian and bicycle comfort measures. The report states these measures are the same across all options and were not used in determining corridor recommendations. However, this later becomes a factor in misleading comparisons. Page 7 introduces inconsistencies in data presentation. Alternatives 1B and 1C are marked within city boundaries. Yes, while alternatives 2 and 3 are marked partially. There are no routes in the entirely within city boundaries, inconsistent. Access to existing subdivisions is noted for alternatives 1 to 3. However, noise walls which cannot have gaps would block access to the North Country subdivision, making alternatives 2 and 3 functionally similar to alternative 4, which is highlighted differently. Alternative 4 is inconsistently marked yellow for within future growth boundaries, even though all routes are within future growth areas. Bicycle accessibility is identical across all options. It's highlighted red for alternative 4, creating a false distinction.
Thank you.
Melissa Zimmerman, 2525 Stony Creek Drive. When we look at Appendix C from the 61-page document, connectivity and travel times reveal additional inaccuracies. 4 out of the 6 travel routes use incorrect distances. They're off by 0.2 miles, resulting in flawed calculations. When alternative 3 shows similar times but longer distances, it's highlighted yellow. However, when alternative 4 has similar characteristics, it's highlighted in red, misrepresenting the data. When correct distances are applied, alternative 3 and 4 are more similar than presented, with both showing 2 faster routes, not 1. Neither significantly improves access to Hy-Vee, making this data point irrelevant, but alternative 4 has fewer impacts on residents. Furthermore, North Country residents typically avoid downtown, preferring alternative routes over Google's suggested paths, a factor WSB did not consider. Conclusion, alternative 4 achieves the same purpose as alternative 3, but was unfairly dismissed based on biased data. Later analysis reveals that routes further out are more cost-effective while delivering comparable outcomes. Alternative 4 emerges as the better choice, prioritizing safety, minimizing impacts, meeting project goals, and maintaining fiscal responsibility, all without compromising travel times. Decisions should be guided on safety and fiscal responsibility, not inconsistently highlighted data. Residents are not okay with being misled. Are you? Let's demand accurate data and ensure this process is handled with the right priorities. We've made it to page 7, more to come next time. On a different note, priorities are hypocrisy. Proposed cannabis ordinance, no cannabis business within 1,000 feet of a school or 500 feet of a daycare, yet we're planning to build a highway just 17 feet from homes on school property, which poses a greater danger, a cannabis sale or a car speeding by every 7 seconds. Why aren't our children and residents given the same 1,000-foot safety buffer from highways with their well-documented risks? The proposed East Side corridor not only places daycares less than 500 feet from this highway, but also runs directly through school property.
Okay,
It's time to rethink our
Thank you,
priorities.
Ms. Zimmerman. Mr. Jones.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Gary Jones, 995 Ridge Road. Addressing some ambiguity in measurements from deer stands to a main trail or a residence. Everything says that deer stand should be 150 feet from an inhabited structure or 100 feet from a main trail. Well, what is a main trail? Now, my wife and oldest daughter were walking at one of Kaplan's paths a week ago and had a fat tire bike rider stop them with a very stern warning saying, "You need to wear blaze orange. There are deer hunters back here. I've seen them. There's 3 of them and they're hunting now. You don't want an arrow through your neck." Well, that was the warning they got. So my wife and oldest daughter received that warning from another park goer referring to an activity that is the city's own doing. The Kaplan's path goes right near a deer stand, right underneath. They've counted 64 people on that path in an hour on another day during the archery hunt. Why isn't that a main trail? Does it have to be paved? If the park goer who issued the warning is as convincing on social media as he was in person, that's big trouble. Remember, social media can cut you and you will not even know you're bleeding until later. DNR and Owatonna regulations may also say no arrow discharges within 150 feet of an inhabited structure. What about if the homeowner has a 25-foot deck or an unattached garage or dog kennel? I mean, what does that mean? Is he supposed to just stay in his house and not rake his leaves? What is safe or what isn't? Even with a 3-day hunt, the houses are still there. I think you need to be 300 feet from a park boundary. Have your hunt in the rugged remote parks of Cashman, Nass, Hammond, Kriesel, and other remote areas I pointed out. Captain's Parkway and North Strait River Parkway Trail also have stands that are off the beaten path. Leo has a stand 35 feet from a trail. Manthe and Kaplan's have stands that go right underneath, trails that go right underneath the stand. And Minnow Springs has a disc golf course not even 100 feet from a deer stand. The DNR officer says, I quote, "All these little towns make up their own rules. Look on the internet. They are all different. How about if we set the standard with some rules between these two things for an inhabited structure and a main trail? What constitutes them so that we have a good plan to go by?" Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Anyone else who wishes to speak this evening? Now is your opportunity. Looks like not, so we'll move on to council comments. And first up tonight is Dave.
Nothing to add.
Hey, Dan.
Nothing to add.
Kevin?
Nothing tonight.
Okay. Brent?
Nothing this evening.
Doug?
I'll go with the trend, nothing tonight.
Oh, that's, we have a quick meeting tonight. Mayor, now is your opportunity.
Just hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. And Chris?
Nothing for me.
Nothing for you? I guess we should all have a happy Thanksgiving. I wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Earlier tonight, we had a ribbon cutting at Merrill Hall, and that was fun and exciting. That's been a big, long-term project, and there's a nice turnout of people there, and we got a little history of Merrill Hall, and I know a Little Theater is happy and Wee Pals is happy, so that's all a good thing. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Brent. Thank you, Brent. Do I hear a second? We'll see where we go here now. Do I hear a second?
Well, there's a wild game on and I have my wild tie, so I'm gonna second it so I can go watch the game.
Thank you very much, Doug. So we have a motion and a second. I'm sure there's no discussion.
Discussion.
No,
You're lucky there's a wild game.
There's no discussion on adjournment. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries and we adjourn.